you know, I've been sailing since I was about 8 years old in North Queensland in Australia on little dinghies. And so I've had a long experience. I'm now nearly 60, and so sailing's been all my life. And when I left school, I joined the British Merchant Navy and sailed on ships around the world. And then I became a lawyer, but I still kept sailing, and my family sail, and this is the second yacht I've owned. But I've never been overseas on a yacht. This is the first time that I've sailed overseas from Australia to Kochi. But when we got to Kochi, it took about 4 hours here, certainly the longest we've had. But it was very pleasant, and the people were very, very nice to us. And that's the main thing, you know. It's not that we have to spend time on it, because we've got lots of time, but it's more that people are pleasant. And the Kochi immigration customs were very good. They even came out at 10 o'clock at night to welcome us to Kochi, which was really very lovely of them. Well, you know, about 40 years ago, I came to Kochi as a young man on a backpacker holiday going back to Australia. And I recall it as being rather a small place. And there certainly wasn't any high-rise. And there wasn't a huge port. It was really fishing nets and a few local sailing boats and trotting around. And the old Kochi was over at Fort Kochi, and it was just fabulous. There was a synagogue there that I was invited to by some Jewish people, and I saw the Dutch village, and I was just overwhelmed. It was always stuck in my mind, and I couldn't wait to get back here. But when I came through Kochi Heads, I was suddenly confronted by all this high-rise and this very busy port. And I really had to wonder whether I was back in Kochi. I thought, this is not the same place. But of course the old Kochi is still there, and I'm looking forward to going across to see it and reminisce a bit about what it was like 40 years ago. But it certainly has changed. And I guess, you know, places do change for the better. People are here now, there's lots of people. But the high-rise is a bit sad. I would like to see less high-rise, as it type of ruins the skyline, which becomes too jutted by all these massive concrete structures. So if they could reduce that and keep the old feeling about the place, I think that would be a lot better. But we're now off the Bulghetti Hotel, which is a 1744 Dutch palace. And I must say, as long as you look to the right, it's very beautiful. If you look to the left, we see all the high-rise, and I guess that's progress. A little bit of the old and a little bit of the new. My observations of Kochi is that because of its unique history, I mean, this is one of the great ports of the original era of sailing, right back 300 years ago. You had a visit here from the Chinese Admiral, Haigh, who was also in Malaysia. And the nets here are reputed to come from China. And people know this and are fascinated by Kochi's history. Kochi's history is its secret. And keeping the old city is so important, not losing that environment. That attracts yachts people as well. And increasingly people are getting on yachts and sailing around the world because equipment has improved and it's much safer now. So that there will be large numbers of yachts come here. Already you've had the big international race come here recently. So, and you'll see more of that. There are some 30 yachts here at the moment, and there's more coming, that's for sure. We know behind us here there are a lot of yachts coming, and I think the fame of Kochi will spread. And it will be India's great benefit to have yachts coming here. There's quite a big economic return from this. We spend a lot of money in these places, it's very, very useful for that reason. Apart from just letting the world know that you exist. India has some very nice ports. Sailing along the coast here is really lovely because you get a beautiful breeze in the morning, beautiful breeze in the evening, and during the day it's a bit quiet, but that doesn't matter. It's calm seas, in the northeasterly season, not in the southwest. Southwest you can't sail here. And if you can establish a cruising route from Sri Lanka through to up here in Indonesia, through to, to Cochin, and including Indonesia actually, from Australia at least, you would then go up to Goa and then to Bombay, Mumbai, I'm showing my age, and then go across to Oman, and you could do what they call the Indian Ocean cruise. And that's its place on what's called an Indian Ocean trip, which you go round India, Sri Lanka, Africa and back to Asia again. When we're sailing, I guess the major concern that we have is that the wind not be too strong. And we tested that going across the Gulf of Mannar, just south between Sri Lanka and India, where every time you go through there it's 35 knots. And 35 knots on a yacht is a very strong wind. And Sahula here had water flowing across the deck, and it was a very rough crossing for 2 days. And everybody's had the same experience. So I guess wind is the real issue, but of course if you hit the land and hit reefs, that's even worse. But if you're a good sailor, that's less likely to happen, and modern boats are very well put together now, and that's not really an issue. But certainly the wind is, and but a well-found boat, as this boat is, usually doesn't have any problem. But the crew get very tired because it's very rough and you don't get a lot of sleep. You in every kind of good thing always have some bad things, and you just cope with that and come through and enjoy the experience, like being here now, as Lorraine says, in the calm and the beauty of Cochin and experiencing India. You soon forget those rough bits. They seem to be just on the way.